Mr. Chair, and welcome to the, as the new chairman to Subcommittee on Water Resources and Environment. Mr. Chairman, when you and I met just over a month ago to discuss a potential agenda for Congress, I suggested we start those areas where we could find common ground. This subcommittee is most successful when we work together in a bipartisan fashion to rebuild our nation's crumbling infrastructure and prepare our communities for challenges they'll face in decades to come. Without question, this nation is witnessing a changing water-related environment, and those changes are having a profound implication on our local communities, our natural environment, and our overall way of life. Ironically, our respective districts are facing very different challenges, yours with too much water and mine too often too little. But the reality is that both districts must adapt and adequately prepare for what lies ahead. I am pleased that our first hearing focuses on an area that we should find common ground, the need for increased investment in our nation's water-related infrastructure, especially federal investment. We all know that the challenges facing our communities are in addressing the local water resources needs and adapting to a changing world, whether the issue is crumbling dams and levees, outdated sewers and stormwater conveyances, inefficient navigation corridors, or large-scale ecosystem restoration authorities. I am certain that every member in this room can point to a water-related challenge facing their constituents at home. Yet, if your elected officials are like mine, the central theme in meeting these challenges is the help needed for additional funding. As former chief of engineers once noted before the subcommittee, by failing to efficiently fund projects, we ultimately fail the American taxpayer by delaying the realization of project benefits and by unnecessarily increasing costs due to these delays. Similarly, when we fail to provide the necessary resources to invest in, update, and adequately maintain our infrastructure, we should not be surprised when systems fail, when communities are placed at risk and the cost begins to become greater, and when our state and local economies underperform. My communities want to do the right thing. They want to provide our citizens with safe, reliable, affordable water and wastewater services, but they cannot do it alone. They're calling on us in Congress to renew the federal commitment to our water-related infrastructure. I was excited when infrastructure investment became a recurring theme during the 2016 presidential election. I was equally pleased when the President made his commitment to triple the funding level for the Clean and Drinking Water State Revolving Funds. This subcommittee needs to take the next logical step and advance legislation, like a reauthorization of the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, to renew the federal commitment to meeting our community's infrastructure needs. This straightforward legislation, last approved on a bipartisan basis by this committee in 2009, will help our communities meet the challenges of a changing water-related environment and creating well-paying jobs in the United States. But we need to do much more. We need to address the very real affordability concerns raised by the communities in a way that does not weaken the Clean Water Act protections and ensures our neighborhoods have access to clean, safe water and reliable local environments. We need to look at targeting more additional federal resources to our urban and rural communities when the traditional tools fail to meet the financial challenges these communities face on a daily basis. Mr. Chairman, I believe this committee can play an integral part in creating and sustaining family wage jobs and ensuring U.S. economic competitiveness and improving the daily lives of all Americans. And I do look forward to working with you on a bipartisan basis to honor these commitments to our communities. And I yield back.